Welcome to Super Talk, the podcast that scratches your superhero itch. Just two suburban dads nerding out over superhero stuff on the small screen and the big. Buckle up, people. Enjoy the ride. Welcome back, YouTube. We got a Disney Plus Day review today for you, so hang in there. It's good stuff. Hey, Professor, you ready?
Let's do it.
In 3.
Welcome to Super Talk, the weekly podcast dedicated to news and reviews of comic book media on the big and small screen. This is episode number 45, and I'm your host, Brian Professor Pettis. And with me, as always, is my illustrious co-host, Titanium Tony Estrella. Titanium?
Professor!
45!
45. 4-5. The big episode. We got a little news and reviews. Not a lot coming out today, but we're going to go over and kind of break down what happened in Disney Plus Day. Our excitement, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, we've got some thoughts.
Yeah.
We've got some thoughts.
You're damn right we got some thoughts. I'm kind of fired up about it, but we'll see.
All right, well, as we want to get the show started, we do want to thank those listeners that help bring the show to you, and those are our patrons. Patreon.com/supertalk. You want to sponsor the show directly, it's $1 an episode. Sign up on patreon.com/supertalk, and you become one of our patrons, and you bring the show to the audience. It's great. We're going to be doing a big giveaway for them right around the episode 52 time frame. So if you want to become part of that giveaway, join the Patreon, patreon.com/supertalk.
Yeah, please give it a wiggle. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. So we'll go into the review section to start off with. And there were two, I'll say, new pieces of content this week that were related to the Disney Plus Day. I'm not sure if you got to watch either of these, or if you watched them in their entirety since they were released on Friday. But Marvel did release the behind-the-scenes Marvel Studios assembled, the making of the Shang Chi movie. It was like an hour and 8 minutes. It was like totally chock full of all the things around, their casting of the actors and actresses and the history of the character in the comics and how they're going to translate that onto the big screen. Did you get a chance to watch it?
I did not. No. I did watch Shang Chi again, though.
Yeah, we watched that again on Friday as well.
I watched I watched that a couple of times. I watched it in its entirety once all the way through, and then when my youngest daughter Gabby was watching it, I kind of sat in and out, and we watched it again.
Just pick some little minor pieces that I liked to want to see again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and we'll kind of go through some of the other content they released to Disney Plus on Disney Plus Day, but these were two pieces of new content. The behind the scenes thing is great. It really does show kind of why they picked the director, why they picked the writer, why they picked these actors to portray these roles, because they're just perfect for them. And there's reasons behind all that, and you kind of get to see that. And I thought it was great. The Marvel Legends, Hawkeye, again, nothing you're going to see new in this. It's really just a recap of where we've seen Hawkeye and all of the Marvel properties up until this point.
I did watch that. It's who is Hawkeye,
Right.
It's his clips. It's like his sizzle reel, it's like a highlight reel for him. And I thought that was great to catch up. I mean, I'm a huge fan, so I really didn't do me any favors, but I thought it was cool. If you don't know Hawkeye, it's a great catch me up.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner was on one of my favorite shows, the YouTube show Hot Ones. Jeremy Renner was on this week, so I got to see a little bit more of Jeremy Renner this week. And
how'd he do on that? Did he
choking down some hot
did
ass chicken wings? Yeah,
did he go all the way to number 10?
Oh, of course, they all do now. I mean, it's like a badge of shame if you don't anymore.
Of course,
but they all do. But yeah, they suffer just like anybody. I mean, I think he rubbed his eye the wrong way.
As bad as Gordon Ramsay did. That episode's hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, nobody's gonna be that bad. Like Shaq quit. It's just like, yeah, just don't watch Shaq because he's terrible.
Ugh.
All right, so those are our two episodes, new content this week. Let's get into the kind of news section. Finally, we did get some news about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. they are doing a special preview event for the trailer. Look, people, this is how crazy it's gotten. There's a special event for the trailer. We're not doing a preview of the movie. We're not showing you like you and I a couple years ago got to see 10 minutes of Doctor Strange, the original movie. It was an IMAX thing. We got to go to the IMAX theater and they showed us 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it was 12 minutes or something like that.
But it was just kind of a sequence. They wanted to show.
It did get me fired up for that, though. It was spectacular.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
It's not like the premiere. They're having a invite-only event at a theater in LA to show the next trailer. And so part of me is like, okay, so you have to be on, and they're like, the invitation says, we'll be checking names. Your seat is not guaranteed. It's first come, first serve, but we will be checking the names of the people that we sent these invitations out to. So, only the people that were invited can come. And I guess they're trying to prevent people from just standing in line nilly-willy for no reason. But you've got
That's
an
ridiculous.
event for the release of a trailer.
Ridiculous. I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah. So that's happening
Tuesday.
This week. Tuesday, November 16th.
Yeah,
in
ridiculous.
LA. Now, here's what we can surmise. And again, Super Talk has been promoting, and we were of the full belief that the next trailer would be released with the Ghostbusters Afterlife movie that's coming out
next
Sony
film.
Friday,
Yep.
which is a Sony film. So we've already been on record saying that.
Yes.
Go look at our episode last week. Already on record saying that. So it would make sense if they have this special event on Tuesday, and then it gets released to the internet on Wednesday, like they do all the time. They release it a couple days before it hits theaters. So we'll see it online on Wednesday, then it'll be in the theaters on Friday with Ghostbusters Afterlife. Shocker.
Big pop and circumstance bullshit. Just put it online so everybody can see it instead of this preview only special invite. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'm telling you, this
I'm
is
at
my
the point right now, Titanium, that I just kind of want the trailer to hit so I can just be done talking about it.
Yeah, no shit.
It literally, and I'm sure you YouTubers are doing this, scour the internet and find out how many YouTube videos there are just talking about leaks from a trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. I mean, it's never ending.
Well, just the YouTube videos alone that you can search that say, new Spider-Man trailer. It's a bunch of clickbait, a bunch of scammers out there, wannabe information gurus that put it out there just for clickbait, especially on social media. So, whatever.
Why do you and I care about the trailer? Because it gets us excited about the movie.
Yeah.
We care most about the movie. And the reason why we care about the trailer is because it's related to the movie.
Yeah.
But I could care about what's in the trailer as long as it gets me excited about the movie.
We can talk about the trailer. It's not a full episode for us, but for some people, it's going to be 4 or 5 shows for them. I don't get it, but whatever. Good for them.
Hey, it'll be out this week sometime.
We'll talk about it next week.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'll give it a review and we'll talk through it. Some of the new things. I mean, gosh, wouldn't we be shocked if they saw Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire in the trailer? God, wouldn't that be a shocking development?
Good for Holly Weird. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Do your thing.
We did get some box office totals from the Eternals. They spent the second weekend this weekend atop the box office again. So they did 2 consecutive weeks in a row leading the box office take for the weekends. And they crossed the $200 million threshold for global sales. Titanium, you were telling me, really hard for a movie like this to do that when they're restricted from certain markets. This one was restricted from certain markets, and for them to get past 200 million during a COVID pandemic, theater only, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, it's very good. Considering the James Bond film just passed 700 million globally, but it was released in China, it was released in the Middle East, it was released in a lot of markets where Eternals were kind of banned or shunned or blocked. So that just shows you that this film should be close to 800 million, 700 million if it was released in all these markets.
By the time it's done?
By the time it's done.
I think it'll get to 500 by the time
I think it'll absolutely. It'll get to 500, but Yeah, Eternals, man. I'm telling you, I watched Shang Chi again, and I'm real close to liking Eternals more than that movie. My youngest daughter, Gabby, again was like, she wants to go see Eternals again. She liked it way better than Shang Chi, and I was like, really? And she's like, oh yeah, it was just a better movie.
Look, your first reaction, my first reaction when we walked out of that theater was,
wow.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Did I like it more than I was supposed to?
Yeah.
I felt like weird. Wait a minute, everybody's telling me how bad this movie is. I liked it more than I thought I was supposed to.
Yeah. Don't
right?
believe the critics, man.
Right.
Make your own decisions. Come up with your own opinion. But yeah, I liked it, and the feedback I'm getting is a lot of people. I got some we got a question of the week this week from Ava St. Laurent. She's like, man, that movie was great.
For the question
I won't say the question, but she was like, man, it was a great movie. I loved it. It's my favorite movie. I was like, wow. It's really hitting, and the word of mouth, I think, is keeping it number one in the box office.
It's doing well. And so the story here is, second straight week it's been atop the box office numbers. Go support the movie. It's done well, and I think it will continue to do well. Shang-Chi had a great run in the theaters. It's now on demand at Disney Plus, and go see that because we'll kind of talk through some of the ways you can see that, but it's been great. So anyway,
I got one more piece of news that came out that I saw today.
Okay.
Sylvester Stallone has confirmed he's going to be in Guardians 3.
What we don't know, though, is whether it's a cameo or it's a role with many kind of like a plot-specific role. So I'll say his last in Guardians 2, he was in the movie in a very, we'll call it a cameo.
I would say it's a cameo.
It was one scene that didn't last too long, really kind of just, talking about, Yondu's, breaking the Ravager.
Yeah, he was one of the Ravager leaders. Yeah. Well, apparently on his Twitter, he confirmed he's going to be in that movie, and he said it's a bigger role. So we'll see.
Is it King Shark?
He was great in that, didn't he? I love that.
That's so funny.
He voiced King Shark in the Suicide
I wear
Squad
disguise.
2. Yeah.
I wear disguise.
Hand. That was awesome.
Yeah, so I do think, if we believe that James Gunn, he's told us this is the last movie with this roster of characters as the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
We believe he's going to be transitioning to another team. It could include some of these members and other new ones. Adam Warlock being the most obvious new member. Nova. There's others, right? That could happen.
That could be introduced, yeah.
But, Sylvester Stallone is playing a Ravager character and was in a post-credit scene in Guardians 2, and there could be a bigger role for that character moving forward.
Yeah.
So who knows?
We'll see. I'm excited for that movie.
We all are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move into the topic of the week this week. And as we alluded to at the beginning of the show, Marvel and Disney had an event on Friday called Disney Plus Day. And it was promoted as a, we'll say, celebration and promotion of the Disney Plus service. The Disney Plus Day corresponded with the 2-year anniversary of the release of the service. So it was released 2 years ago last Friday. That's why we're having this day. But they're like, hey, we'll use this as an opportunity to not only celebrate what we've accomplished over those 2 years, but also promote what we have coming. My first impression was, I thought it was going to be a lot different than it was, but my first impression was, oh, it's just like a big commercial for Disney Plus. That's what it is.
I can't tell you how disappointed I am. Like, I haven't texted you. We really haven't talked much about it offline. But I will tell you right now, one of the things, and even on social media, we've been Super Talk has been tweeting out and saying, one of our wish lists are dates, release dates, and we got none of that. I agree with you, Professor. As usual, you were right on target with it. Is a giant commercial for subscribers. Was it a tease? Did we get a little bit? Yeah, we got a little bit.
Well, let's talk about what we got.
Yeah.
So we'll go through what we got. But
by the way, this is brought to you by Studio G Studios, home of the Man Band, Corner of the Cob. Love you guys. Thank you for all your support.
Hey, good luck with the reno, and we hope you're back online soon because we're
getting close.
We need new content, guys.
We need help. We need your musical talents, and we need your graphics.
So there's kind of like two parts to Disney Plus Day, and what we're not talking about, I'll kind of just allude to right now. They also did release a bunch of new content and announced some new content on, we'll say, the more Disney side of the business, right? There's some Disney series and Disney projects coming, some Disney movies coming, some Star Wars stuff coming. We're not talking about that here on Super Talk. We're really focused on the Marvel content that was released.
Right.
So there's stuff about Boba Fett and Disenchanted and there's a bunch of other Frozen stuff released.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about any of that.
The Star Wars stuff was just as disappointing as Marvel, but we're going to focus on what we do best.
The Marvel stuff.
What we do best, superhero nerds. Hello.
So we're going to focus on the Marvel stuff, but we'll focus on the two parts. The first part was, hey, it's Disney Plus Day. We're going to release a bunch of new stuff, new Marvel content to the service today. And the first thing that we got was the Imax Enhanced versions of some Marvel content. Not all. I did some research. And
what does that mean? What is the Imax Enhanced?
So those movies that were filmed in IMAX. So anybody that's watched a movie in IMAX, the aspect ratio of an IMAX screen is different than your traditional. So our old, kind of tube televisions were 4:3 format. The newer widescreen televisions that we have at home were designed to more closely mimic movie theater screens, and they're in a 16:9 format. So 16 inches wide by 9 inches tall, and scale that out across how many dimensions you want, right? IMAX is filmed in a much taller and broader spectrum, so it's very much closer to the 4:3 format, but the screen itself fills up a lot more real estate. So you get more height,
you get more content, right? You get more visual content.
If everybody's familiar with movies, you watch movies on TV the last several years, you got like a black bar at the top and the bottom of the screen when you're looking at movie theater format.
Yeah, letterboxing.
It's letterboxing. You're missing a little bit of it. What IMAX does is it stretches that real estate and fills it with content.
Or films that real estate. Yeah.
It does. So what they do is they film the movie with IMAX cameras that are able to capture all of that content in the screen, and then when they release it to theaters in 16:9 format, they have to cut that out. So what IMAX Enhanced is basically telling you that, hey, we're going to take that real estate that your TV has, we're just going to fill it with extra content or extra parts of the screen. So what Disney did is they released IMAX Enhanced versions of some of the movies they've already been streaming on Disney Plus, so that we can now view these movies in a more enhanced, kind of format.
Yeah.
It's just like going to an IMAX theater, but you're doing it at home.
Yeah, right.
Shang Chi was one of those movies that was released in IMAX Enhanced, which was great.
Yeah, cool.
But I went back and looked, like Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War, absolutely in IMAX Enhanced. Iron Man, the original Iron Man's in IMAX Enhanced. The original is.
Oh.
But Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3 are not. So it's like, that's kind of strange.
That is strange.
But the original Iron Man was.
I'll go back and watch that.
Yeah. I believe the original Avengers was, and maybe Avengers Civil War,
Nice.
but not Age of Ultron. So you'll see when you view this content on Disney Plus, whether it's available in IMAX Enhanced, it's not like a choice you have. If it's available, that's what it plays in.
Yeah.
And if it's not available, it plays in the older formats. But look, it's basically filling the real estate of your television screen, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing. I thought that was awesome.
Well, you got to see more of what's going on. You got to see more, not that you would miss anything, but you got more of the picture, more background. And it adds to the feel, the set and feel of the movie. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've talked. I mean, you and I've seen some of these new releases from Marvel in the theaters. Look, I've always said, and not always, but I believe IMAX is worth the experience, especially for movies I want to see. Like, I wouldn't just go see some random movie in IMAX, but ones like Avengers Endgame, it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, for Doctor Strange, yeah.
Yeah, huge.
You know, where the visual effects, you know, make a difference. And I think that's what they're doing here.
Yeah, we saw Venom in IMAX.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, look, it scared me. I had nightmares. But anyway, so that was really cool. Check that stuff out. Go to Disney Plus and see what kind of movies you can now watch in IMAX Enhanced. You'll see the difference, believe me. They did release Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings to Disney Plus on Friday. That's now available to be streamed. My wife and I watched it. It was the first time she had seen it, and she loved it. So, you know, look, I did like it as much the second time as I watched it the first time, and like I thought I would, and it was great.
Yeah, it's great. I really liked it. But I'm telling you, Eternals is right there with it.
Yeah. We talked about the other two shows, the other two pieces of new content, the making of Shang Chi and the Legends Hawkeye kind of preview. Those are kind of new pieces of content that released. No much new Marvel content other than that right now. What they did, though, they announced, and of course this is what we were saying, this was a big promotion for Disney Plus. Oh, it's Disney Plus Day. Here's all this great stuff we have. We're going to let you subscribe to the service for $1.99 the first month, and then it's $7.99 every month after that. So they did, announce a promotion. So, audience, if you're not subscribed to Disney Plus and you're thinking about it, hey, do it for a couple bucks the first month, and if you don't like it, cancel.
Right.
Great opportunity to try out the service.
You're not going to cancel, though.
Well, you and I kind of got a pretty sweet deal.
We did.
When Disney Plus first launched, we signed up for 2 years in advance at a very, very, very low rate.
Very low rate, yep.
But, yeah. So, anyway. What they did do, though, was they dropped so each of the studios, Marvel did this, Pixar did this, Disney movies did this. They dropped a Disney Plus, kind of, I don't know what you want to call a featurette.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a 10-minute...
Sizzle reel.
Right.
Yeah.
10-minute thing. The first, I'll say, half of that featurette recapped what they've done in 2021.
Yeah, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Loki, and then
Loki.
What If.
Yeah, What If? They ran through all of that, which took up a majority of it.
That was the first half.
Yeah.
First half of this 10-minute thing was really recapping those 4 series that were released on Disney Plus this year. They then did, which was really cool, I'll say a 3-minute extended scene from Hawkeye. So the scene that we've seen in the trailers of the two of them in a car being chased by the tracksuit mafia, where Kate Bishop has to use one of his exploding arrows and blow up the thing. And we got the whole kind of like lead up to that scene and the actual them stealing the car and driving in it and escaping from them and doing whatever. So we got that whole 3-minute scene. And it was
one of my favorite things about the whole day was that scene.
Right.
The shot when they're driving in that car, that old beat up Lincoln, that huge monster mobile. That 360 shot in the car, spectacular. I felt like I was sitting in the car with them, and that was great. And it's funnier than I thought. This is going to be funny. And that was one of my favorite parts of the day was that extended version of Hawkeye.
And again, we know that's coming in 2 weeks. So we're getting 2 episodes of Hawkeye the day before Thanksgiving. So literally that's coming in 2 weeks, which is kind of crazy. The next thing we got was some, I call them kind of teasers, because they're not trailers. These are not like extended trailers where you get 30 seconds of content. It's literally a few scenes, a few speaking parts that kind of give you an idea of what's going on for each one of these little movies.
Yeah.
We did that for Moon Knight. So we got to see Mark Spector speaking to himself in a mirror sounding very confused about, what did I do last night and why wasn't I in my own body, and what happens at night is very different than what happens at day. And so we kind of get some insight into the multiple personality disorder that he suffers from, that Moon Knight is part of.
Two completely different voices there.
Yeah.
Two completely different voices. So two different personalities we got a chance
it
to
was
listen
It was
to.
Very Bruce Wayne Batman-ish, where there's this really nerdy guy
Come
talking, and then
on.
all of a sudden he's like, "You're gonna die."
Yeah,
it was like
the voices are telling, Let me tell you something. If you're not fired up for Moon Knight, you're not gonna get fired up for any Marvel content, because this thing is going to be spectacular. Just the little clips. Disappointing? Absolutely. I thought we were going to get some kind of teaser trailer, not these little tiny clips.
But what we saw was pretty good.
Was spectacular. We saw the costume. We saw him absolutely raging on somebody.
We saw him standing in the street, surrounded by 6 bodies that are all on the ground, and he's looking at himself how did this just
running
happen?
with the cape flapping in the wind, jumping from building top to building top through the moon in the background. That blew me away. That right there got me so fired up. My second favorite thing about Disney Plus Day was those little bits. Cannot wait, and I'm really, really happy with the way they did the multiple personality thing. We got 2 distinct voices from him, and he's so confused and doesn't know what's going on. One shot of him with bloody hands and kind of blood on his face, and there's 5 guys laying around him, and he kind of comes to. I love it. This is going to be such a show, man. This is going to be spectacular.
So that was great, and then we got a very similar, we'll say, teaser for She-Hulk. We got to meet.
We just go back to Moon Knight real quick. We know Ethan Hawke.
We never left Moon Knight.
Thank thank goodness, because that was probably the highlight of my Disney Plus bullshit day. We know Ethan Hawke is in it. We're not really sure there's speculation that he plays a vampire. There's speculation that he plays another avatar for the sun god and
Stay off the dark web.
No, I'm just saying. I just want to bring that up because it's going to be very interesting. He's a hell of an actor. I mean, he is a top tier actor, and I can't wait to see him. We haven't seen him at all in any of these clips. I just wanted to mention that we really haven't seen much supporting actors or anybody else.
Titanium has a man crush on Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
Looking forward
Absolutely.
to what Ethan Hawke will be saying and doing and showing in this television show.
Yeah, he's spectacular.
Smoke
show? No, not really. A little too gruff. A little too gruff.
All right. As I was kind of alluding to, then we kind of got the same thing for She-Hulk. So we got to meet Jennifer Walters, the actress who's playing that role. We saw her in a lab with, I'll say, Professor Hulk,
yes.
Right? And he's talking to her about these transformations come from when you're angry or when you're stressed out or whatever. And then
she's wearing some kind of headset, and she's in some kind of containment.
Right, but then we see her in kind of her full She-Hulk costume, which is basically the 6 foot 8 inch tall girl with the
green,
white and purple kind of leotard
somewhat muscular,
uniform.
not real muscular.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was really cool for us to get to see her, and they did a little call back to the '70s TV show of she's doing a commercial for her law firm. She's says something like, "Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like it when I'm angry."
Oh, is that what that was?
Oh yeah, it's a callback to the '70s television show.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was
with Bill Bixby. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with them in this '70s?
Oh, they're dressed out. There is a total callback to the '70s television show.
But it's a commercial for her law firm.
Yes,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't get that, but I did we didn't get a lot of her in the full Hulk outfit.
No, it's total teaser.
Her lower back and some of her ass, and then some of her arms. But you can tell she's green. She's obviously pretty muscular, but not over muscular. Very cool. And then later on, you get a shot of her in this cocktail dress with the slit going up the side, and she's kind of walking away from this car, and she's green. So I thought that was kind of cool. No real other characters besides Professor Hulk. I did notice when she's in that containment center, she's got this weird helmet on, and he's saying that to her. His arm is better. It's not in a sling anymore. He looks complete. Like he looks like he's healed, which is weird. Because in Shang Chi we see Bruce Banner not as Professor Hulk, but he's completely changed. So I think that's going to be interesting. Like, what happens there? How does that play out? I think that's going to be, that question gets me excited about the show. So
we'll see.
Yeah.
We also got a very similar teaser for the Ms. Marvel series. And remind me, we did kind of get a date in regards to this. This was the one that we kind of got a loose date for.
So I'm worried again. They pushed it back. Summer of 2022.
Yeah, it's coming out in the summer. So this is the one they basically... they did not give us a date for Moon Knight nor She-Hulk, but they did confirm
release dates.
That Ms. Marvel is coming in summer of 2022. Look, this was the one that was supposed to be out before the end of this year. You and I have talked about this. They went back and did some reshoots, and they may be doing some changes to the way her powers are done on the screen. I know the production company's under a lot of pressure to make sure that they portray this character the right way, because it's a Pakistani American superhero who
first Middle Eastern superhero.
Really important for them to get it right.
It's very important for them to get it right.
But
it makes me worried they keep pushing this back, because you're right, Professor. We were supposed to get this year. It's supposed to be already
done.
Yeah,
right.
It's in the can. We know it's in the can.
Right.
But then pushing it back.
They're pushing it back to summer. So that leads me to believe that we're going to get She-Hulk and Moon Knight prior to Ms. Marvel. We'll probably get She-Hulk and Moon Knight in... one of them will start January, shortly after Hawkeye. And Ms. Marvel we won't get until like June. Right?
So one of the big disappointments for me was they pushed Strange back. They pushed Doctor Strange back to May from March. And January through May, we really don't have any definite answers on any of these shows being launched. And I was hoping that they would fill that void.
That we would at least get confirmation that from the beginning of January until when Doctor Strange comes out in May, we're going to have Disney Plus stuff to show you.
I would hope so, but nothing. They didn't reveal any of that. Pissed. Am I upset? Yeah. A little bit. Sorry.
So we got that Ms. Marvel. We did get confirmation that, and we kind of knew this, again, they've alluded to this already, that they're doing a What If Season 2, so they did confirm that. They did confirm they're doing a Loki Season 2.
Yay!
Confirmed. We got some news about some new content. They're doing a few new animated series on Disney+, one of them being Spider-Man Freshman Year. So this is Peter Parker in high school, his freshman year of high school, before he becomes Spider-Man, and kind of showing you not only, it's kind of an origin story, but they're doing it animated. So they're showing you not only how he kind of interacts with all the people that we've seen from his high school, but he becomes Spider-Man eventually. So that's going to be animated.
That'll be cool.
Yeah. They did confirm Armor Wars, which we knew was coming.
Don Cheadle will head that up.
Yep.
That's going to be cool.
Yep. Look, my most favorite announcement, we got news about X-Men content coming to Disney+. The animated series from the mid to late 90s, X-Men animated series, yes.
I have a question, Professor.
Yes, Titanium.
Well, and I raised my hand like I'm in school because I need to be schooled on this. Hand.
Right.
Question. Is this the 80s, the 90s comic? The 90s animated show that they're going to rerun, or is this new animated stuff?
So that's the most exciting part of this. They're taking, so the X-Men animated series ran from the, I'll say, mid to late 90s. Uh-huh. And it ended in 97, which is
great.
Why they're calling it 97. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I own, I'll say 90% of these episodes on VCR tape, because I set my VCR to tape it every Saturday morning, and I would watch. So I own most of. Now I've subsequently bought many of them on DVD, own those as well. But now they're all available. The original series is available on Disney Plus now. You want to go watch it? They're all there. It's great. Voice acting, awesome. storylines pulled straight from the comics. They did the Dark Phoenix. They did, Mr. Sinister. They did the Starjammers. They did. I mean, you think about it. They did it in this show. The Morlocks. I mean, it was awesome.
Awesome.
They're taking that original animated series from where it ended and going forward.
Oh, okay.
They're continuing the series on.
Wow.
Same animation.
Wow.
They're doing the same company that did the original animation for the original series. Same animation. Same voice actors.
Oh, boy.
So the guys who voiced it, I think the confirmed actors we got, Wolverine, Jean Grey, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Gambit, Jubilee,
yeah.
all the main Cyclops,
Wow.
all the main characters, the same voice actors are coming back to do the animated series.
Nerds are getting a nostalgia boner right now.
Right. So they're taking where the series ended, and if you watch it on Disney Plus right now, I believe there's, 5 or 6 seasons where it ends. I wouldn't call it a cliffhanger, but it did eventually end. But there's many more stories they could tell from that point forward with the same characters, and they're taking it from there and continuing forward.
Oh, that's great.
So literally, this was like the most exciting thing for me. I mean, that was something for my kind of, I'll say early adulthood that I remember very fondly, was that X-Men animated series, something I look forward to every week. For them to not only grasp onto it and say, hey, we thought this was great and we're going to do more of it, I was like, oh God, this is like a slam dunk.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so awesome.
Good. Yeah. I was aware of it, but I'm glad to hear that they're taking it from where it ended.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're getting a new animated series. So the Marvel Zombies episode of What If was so popular, they've decided to do an entire animated series based on the comic book limited series they did called Marvel Zombies. They're going to tell that whole story basically in a limited animated series, which is great. I mean, the comic book run was, again, it was a kind of like it was a limited series that was just like, what if zombies happened in the Marvel universe, and we kind of saw that in the What If series, but it was several issues in the comics, and they're just going to tell that story in the animated. So that's great. That will be cool coming. We did get like a little, just like a 1 or 2 snapshots from Secret Invasion set with Nick Fury. We know that one's coming. They confirmed that.
Yeah, we saw Nick and his beard. Badass.
Yeah.
I love Samuel Jackson, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah,
and the chick Emily Clark from Amelia Clark from Game of Thrones is going to be in that.
Yep.
And then
we don't know in what
Talos.
role.
Yeah, we have no idea. And Talos is going to be in that, right?
Talos.
Yeah.
And then we did get confirmation that they are going to be doing an Echo series. So Echo is a character that will show up in the Hawkeye series.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a deaf metahuman who we will see in that Hawkeye series, and we're going to see her.
We got a good clip of her in that extended version, which was cool.
Yeah, and we'll see she's going to get her own limited series on Disney Plus, so that's going to be cool, and that'll have something to do with.
They must have seen something in her in that series that was impressive. So I don't see that character holding a whole series by herself. So I'm a little weary of that.
I think it'll tie into the Kingpin for sure, because she is a hitman for the Kingpin.
She definitely was working with the Tracksuit Mafia in the clip. So
right.
I just don't see her holding a whole series. So I could be wrong.
Who knows? It
Wouldn't
could
be the first time.
Somebody else that's helping.
Oh, I see. Okay. You bring Daredevil into it, aren't you? Okay.
We did get confirmation that the I Am Groot series is coming at some point in time. Again, no date. Ironheart confirmed as well. And then the other big announcement, which we, again, kind of knew that was going to happen.
I'm kind of excited about Ironheart, to be honest with you. I think that's going to be cool. She's going to be
We'll see. She'll be in the...
Williams will be... Williams will be in Wakanda Forever. She's already been seen on set. Yeah.
But then we did get the confirmation that they're doing the series with Agatha Harkness. Agatha House of Harkness is coming to Disney Plus.
That logo was cool.
Yeah. So, I think it's going to be. I think a lot of excitement about that character being shown in the history. I think they're going to go back to Salem and some other things with that character. So it'll be really cool.
Yeah,
and
great
Catherine
actors.
Hahn, did such a great job with the character in WandaVision, and for her to get her own series, I think is well justified. So, look, that's the new stuff that was announced, and it wasn't really officially announced. It was kind of just alluded to in these screenshots on this video. What didn't we get? And Titanium's alluded to this a few times. We didn't get a full standalone trailer for any of these shows, which we thought we would. We thought we were going to get, just like when we got with DC Fandom, we were going to get a full trailer for Moon Knight. We're going to get a full trailer for She-Hulk. We're going to get a full trailer for Ms. Marvel. Where's the trailer?
Ms. Marvel's been in the can forever. They got a trailer.
They gave us a 30-second teaser, and I'm like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
We didn't get that.
Nope.
We didn't get any dates behind any of this.
That crushed me. That was soul crushing for me. I was very disappointed in that.
And we didn't get any casting announcements for any of the projects they had slated on the schedule, like they've done before. So that was also disappointing. I feel bad because I feel like I hyped this up with my audience. I think the Super Talk guys were like, hey, this is going to be a great day on Friday. You're going to get a lot of great stuff. And it was pretty disappointing.
Info dump. We were really looking for an information dump, and we got a little bit here and there. Again, 3 favorite things from me was the extended clip from Hawkeye, the Moon Knight clips, that was exciting, and the fact that She-Hulk was green and then that classic costume was very cool. But besides that, disappointing, man. Very disappointing.
So this tells me a couple things. One thing it might allude to is that, as we've talked about, D23 is this weekend. So D23 is akin to DC Fandom and this is for Disney.
Yeah.
This is not just Marvel. This is Disney, the theme parks, the Disney Animation, the cruise line, Pixar,
everything.
Marvel, National Geographic. Mm-hmm. It's everything. So these are 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This coming weekend is D23. It is really kind of the fan showcase for all of Disney. So here's what I'm hopeful of, but I'm not going to be surprised if I'm disappointed after this past weekend.
Wow,
I'm
you're absolutely correct. Yep.
That all the things that we're missing, all the things we didn't get, will be provided to us this weekend. Because they just can't have a Disney Plus day and just say, oh, we're not going to do Disney Plus during D23. We just did it last weekend.
Yeah.
No, they still have to do Disney Plus. That's a part of the fandom of Disney is Disney Plus. So they're going to feature it. So my thought is they held back on us purposely last Friday, knowing that we're going to have to come back the next weekend for D23, and all the release dates, all the casting announcements, all the full trailers will be shown to us at some point. Kevin Feige may get on stage and make some announcements and do some other stuff. And we didn't get Disney Plus Day, which we didn't expect. We didn't get anything about the new movies, which we know were on the schedule.
Yeah, we knew we weren't going to get that.
And that was not because this is all about Disney Plus.
Right.
But how those Disney Plus shows tie into the movies is important. And I think that whole story might be told. I don't know what day it is. I'll have to look it up. I don't know what day Marvel's doing their presentation for D23.
Yeah, what day, they're not.
But I believe Kevin Feige will get on stage.
I'm sure he will.
Or it's pre-recorded like it was last time. But we'll get some big news about movies. Some maybe a early trailer for Doctor Strange. Maybe some early kind of screenshots of what's going on with Guardians or Thor and all kinds of... Who knows?
Right.
But on the Disney Plus side, I'm hoping we get some dates. The best thing they could do for me is, hey, Hawkeye's going to run from Thanksgiving through the end of the year, and then the series is going to end, and then we're going to have a 1-week break in January, and then Moon Knight drops January 8th, or She-Hulk drops January 8th, or whatever.
That'd be great.
I want it. Just give it to me.
I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't think that's going to happen. I think
if you held your breath, you might not be here next week.
Well, I don't know. I can hold my breath for a long time, but I don't think that will happen. I'm going to be negative about this. I'm going to be
lower your expectations.
Lower my expectations. So when they hit me, I will be more excited about it. But I really think that we're going to get some news about this, that, and this. They might throw a couple of nuggets in there, like maybe say, Blade is going to start production in 2023 or something awful, like way out there, and just be still disappointed. But we'll see. I'm going to lower my expectations, but I'm not gonna be excited about it. I hope you're right, Professor. Hey, I would love you to be right.
Look, all the things that we've seen here recently are leading us to believe that they're doing kind of a Midnight Suns kind of thing, like with Blade.
Yep.
And the Black Knight.
Yep.
And maybe Ghost Rider. Yeah. And maybe Deadpool. Yeah. Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, I'd love to hear some news about Deadpool. We know that's in the works, but I haven't. It's been absolutely quiet. Young Avengers, we know they're setting up all those characters and all these Disney Plus
Nova.
series.
We know they're doing something with that character.
Give us something.
Fantastic Four, give us some casting announcements. If that happens this weekend, holy crap, you and I are
going to... It will make up for that disappointing
Disney
Plus.
We're going to ask our pants.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I might. Yeah,
I mean,
I'll wear a diaper.
Yeah, it'll be... if they do a casting announcement for Fantastic Four this weekend, hey, it'll make up for all the disappointment we had this past weekend, so...
Yeah, the guy from Walking Dead, Revis. Tell us he's going to be, Ghost Rider.
Why not Keanu Reeves?
I don't know. I think they got other plans for Keanu Reeves. I don't know. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. If they announce Keanu Reeves as Ghost Rider, I will lose my shit. I will lose my mind. If they do Revis, what's his name? Something Revis, the guy from Walking Dead, badass from Walking Dead. If they him as Ghost Rider,
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, the crossbow guy from something Revis. But anyway. Either one of those, I will lose my mind.
The guy who was in the original Blade movies.
Yes.
He was in Blade 2, I believe.
Yes, 2.
Yeah.
Not 1.
No.
Awesome. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you, Professor. Hey, real quick, Professor, we got a listener question of the week.
Let's do it.
All right. This comes from Ava St. Laurent, and her question was, she noticed a lot of similarities from Eternals. By the way, she loved
similarities.
Eternals.
Was that the real?
I can't remember exactly what she said. Maybe there were a lot of undertones and similarities to Game of Thrones, and she was like, "Guys, I saw a lot of Game of Thrones imagery or similarities. The actors and things. Was I just thinking that, or was that really part of it?" And I think we discussed this last week that. There are a little bit that there's a sword, right?
Well, from a plot and character and content perspective, there's absolutely no similarities. I mean, this is happening on Earth, the Earth we know and live on, and throughout our history. Whereas Game of Thrones is in a kind of made-up fantasy world.
Yeah. And the actors are two actors that were in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So two of the the Stark family that were in the Game of Thrones series on HBO are part of the Eternals. Well, one's an Eternal and the other one is Dane Whitman. So there's a connection there. There's also the individual who did the score for the Game of Thrones series, the music. Also did the music and the score for this movie. So there's some similarities there. And
don't downplay that.
Yeah, the music is very familiar.
Music is so important to set the atmosphere, to evoke emotion, and that might be what she's feeling. Maybe the score by this guy and the music kind of gave her that Game of Thrones vibe. And I thought it was brilliant. I loved the score and the music. It was one of the highlights of the movies for me, but maybe that's where she's going with that.
Well, I mean, I think if the question is there a purpose behind the fact that they've cast some Game of Thrones actors to play these characters, and are they purposely trying to, kind of direct us towards the kind of Game of Thrones? No. The Marvel history and the Marvel stories have been around for many, many, many decades before the Game of Thrones books were ever even written. So we're drawing on stories that have been around for 60, 70, 80 years versus stuff that's been around for 20 years or 10 years. Yeah. So there's really no, I think, purposeful allusion there. As a matter of fact, the Game of Thrones series and I'll say the media content is owned by Warner Brothers, who is a direct competitor to Marvel. Yeah. And they own DC, and they own all the DC characters, and so they would not want to promote or facilitate the success of Marvel content because it would maybe potentially hurt their own.
Even though like Dane Whitman knows nothing, like Jon Snow knows nothing. He knew nothing, right?
Right.
He's kind of lost. And then the sword, the ebony blade. And Jon Snow had a cool sword that could kill White Walkers. But you're right, Professor. There is no direct correlation between Game of Thrones and Eternals.
It's more coincidence.
It's more coincidence. The actors, there's 2 actors, very famous, prominent actors in Game of Thrones that are in Eternals. The score, the music could evoke that kind of similarity, that kind of emotion that you went through with Game of Thrones.
Hey, but there's no doubt that Marvel wanted to... we'll say benefit from the popularity of Game of Thrones by casting those actors that everybody knew and was familiar with and say, we're bringing them into the MCU. Of course. All right, yeah. Just like they brought Emilia Clarke into Secret Invasion. Hey, we're not saying there's a correlation between Secret Invasion and Game of Thrones, but
she probably won't have dragons.
Yeah, we're casting Emilia Clarke.
She might have dragons, but no, yeah, absolutely. Well, let's ring the bell, Professor. Great show. Thank you.
Let's do it. Well, that's it for us this week. We'll be back next week for more Super Talk. To get in touch with us on social media, hit us up via email at supertalkpodcast@outlook.com or at supertalkpod on Twitter. Until then, stay super, everyone.
We're out, sir.
Thanks, YouTube.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe like you always do.
Awesome.